Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, I wanted to offer an update and some corrections regarding the Kursk incursion. So I'm going to jump right into that. Here, I'm going to start with my correction. If I'm wrong about something, I always admit it. So, according to the Russian Ministry of Defense, Ukraine deployed over 10,000 troops to the Kursk region in this incursion. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, so you can take it with a grain of salt, Ukraine has lost more than 3,400 service members. Actually, that's up to 3,800. And around 400 armored vehicles in the incursion. Now, video evidence would seem to back this up. All right, so let's go to other information, the updates. All right, on Sunday, President Vladimir Zelensky released a video statement hailing the Ukrainian units directly engaged with Russian forces. Now, I'm getting a lot of this from RT, but it comes from other sources also that they relied on. Anyway, the operation in Kursk region has allowed Kiev to bolster its exchange fund. Zelensky argued, which is referring to Russian prisoners of war. Okay, that's their exchange fund regarding this. Earlier in the week, Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk described the seizure of Russian border areas as creating a zone of security on Russian territory. Civilians under Kiev's control will be offered evacuation, she said. She later indicated that the only option would be to go to Ukrainian territory and accused Moscow of failing to ask Kiev to organize safe passage in the other direction. Okay, so they didn't ask Kiev for an invading force for permission to organize an evacuation route. And by the way, there are lots of videos of Russian civilian vehicles miles long evacuating that region. So this is just a lie. A week or two ago, there was a video of a Russian retiree, 74-year-old man that appears to have dementia, saying he had been lost for 10 days or something, being harassed by Ukrainian soldiers that were wearing World War II German insignia on their German-style helmets while harassing this old man. On Saturday, this past Saturday, they sent a telegram message to the man's daughter indicating that he is still alive and being held hostage by the Ukrainian forces. All right, so, I mean, this is holding people hostage for ransom. This is terrorism. This is terrorism. All right, let me keep on going here. Ukrainian intelligence chief Kirill Budanov said last Friday that Kiev will continue to prioritize the return of those who defended Azovstal, the Azovstal steel plant, and future prisoner exchanges. He was referring to members of the infamous neo-Nazi Azov regiment embedded in the Ukrainian army. Dozens were captured in May 2022 in the city of Mariupol, where they used a Soviet steel mill as a fortified base. All right, so Russia has refused to release these members of the Azov and right sector because they consider them to be neo-Nazi terrorists. Now, there were maybe a dozen of them that were released by in a prisoner exchange in Turkey, which was without Russian permission. I'm not sure how they were being held in Turkey, but so about a dozen of them, the Azovs, were released in that prisoner exchange last year, I believe. So, but that was an exception and not the rule. All right, so as of this time, the Ukrainian advance in the Kursk region has come to a halt, but Ukraine is trying to open another front up in that region. Okay, so if they wanted to create a zone of security, all right, the purpose of Russia invading the northern region of Ukraine was to create a buffer zone. So now what Ukraine says they're trying to do is to create a buffer zone. Well, this could happen if they, through diplomacy and an agreement with Russia, to create a demilitarized zone along that border. But let me remind you that the Minsk agreements had established a demilitarized zone along the line of contact with Donbass in 2014, 2015, and Ukraine never honored that. The agreement between Russia and Ukraine and Turkey in March of 2022 would have established a demilitarized zone, a buffer zone, and Ukraine refused to honor that agreement. So what they are doing is just trying to capture Russian territory, sacrificing their own troops in the process. But now they're trying to open up another front up in that region, drawing their own troops from the line of contact with Donbass, where Russia is just steamrolling the Ukrainian troops in that region. So this is just foolishness. And now Zelensky is begging for Western countries to allow Ukraine to use F-16s to strike inside Russian territory. They are really pushing for World War III. Anyway, let's go to the Nordstream update. All right, so German, this is coming from RT, but based on a report by a German outlet, ARD. This is actually all German sourcing. So German investigators filed a cooperation request with their Polish counterparts in the hope of locating the suspect, who is said to have been tracked to a location west of Warsaw before disappearing, German state broadcaster ARD reported. Polish President Donald Tusk says, "To all the initiators and patrons of Nord Stream 1 and 2, he wrote, "the only thing you should do today is apologize and keep quiet." According to ARD, Poland, despite EU interstate regulations, has failed to respond to Berlin's request for cooperation. In an interview with Die Welt, another German news outlet, on Thursday, The former president of Germany's Foreign Intelligence Agency, August Hanning, claimed that Poland was likely involved in facilitating the attack on the Nord Stream pipelines. The way it seems is that it was a Ukrainian team that operated there, he said, referring to Poland. However, he added, this was of course only possible with support from the land. When we look at the map, pretty evidently, the Polish agencies were engaged here, and I think not only agencies, I think that this was an arrangement between people at the top level in Ukraine and in Poland, he speculated. All right. Polish Deputy Prime Minister Krzysztof Gawkowski rejected Hanning's accusations, telling the Polsat broadcaster on Friday that Poland did not take part in anything. Back in January, the Wall Street Journal claimed that Poland's internal security agency refused to turn over testimony from eyewitnesses who encountered the yacht's crew, withheld CCTV footage from the Polish port of Kolobrzeż, where the vessel was moored. It was moored at a Polish port, all right, and failed to answer queries, obfuscated, or gave contradictory information when pressed by German investigators. So, Poland is obviously was obviously involved in the attack on the Nord Stream pipeline. As of this time, Germany has stated that they will not provide any more military assistance to Ukraine. This is all after this German report came out on the Nord Stream pipeline. And there has been a German MP, Ministry of Parliament, who has come out against this and wants to sue Ukraine for the financial damage caused by the attacks on the Ukraine pipeline, which would add up to tens of billions of dollars. Not like Ukraine could ever pay a penny of it or would ever pay a penny of it. They would just beg for more money, and we know this. Their credit rating has been downgraded by multiple agencies to C or D. Their credit rating has been completely wiped out. I will remind you that Ukraine was defaulting on debt ever since 2015 on multiple occasions. So Ukraine does not take any debt seriously at all. Anyway, the the attack on the Nord Stream pipeline has just devastated the European economy as a whole, and so now it turns out that Ukraine and Poland were involved in this attack, and most people speculate that it also involved U.S. assistance. Now, I'm not going, but that's speculation. That is speculation, and I'm not endorsing it. I'm just stating that a lot of people speculate that. I'm not stating my own belief either. So you can come to your own determination on all of that. But it is pretty interesting that after this report comes out, Germany says they are not going to offer any more military assistance this year. They will continue to send weapons to Ukraine, which Ukraine has paid for, but they're not going to just give anything. All right, so share this video. Talk about these subjects. Leave your comments below. Be sure and click like. Subscribe to the channel. Same old stuff that you hear from every channel. It does help. And So if you can afford it, please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day.